suspicious visual field. The glaucoma suspect may have some visual field defect or they may not have. If they have some visual field defects, then that may be glaucomatous or maybe not. But we have to, they are not yet conclusive about glaucoma defects. They may be glaucomatous at a certain stage, but still now they are not yet definitely glaucomatous. So if defect of the, some defect we are seeing in the glaucoma field defect, and it appears in any ocular hypertension or in any case of NTG suspect, then that means that the patient has gone up to the angle, the overt glaucoma stage, and treatment should be initiated. So I don't have any financial disclosure to make. So visual field assessment is very much subjective and it should be reliable and reproducible. Otherwise, it should not be taken into account. Never base your diagnosis relying only on one visual field. It has to be reproducible and it has to be reliable. Then the reliability criteria, the patient parameters like age, refraction, pupil size, etc. should be entered correctly. And the reliability criteria, fixation loss, false positive and false negative. Out of these three things, false loss, fixation loss can be increased if the mapping is not correct. So in false positive cases is the most important thing, and that should be less than 15 degree. So false positive along with the base track monitoring is the most reliable thing to assess the reliability, and proper instructions should be given to the patient before the starting of the perimetry so that patient understands the test and will not make any mistake. So if the patient is fatigued or if the patient is inattentive, then we can give the get the cloverleaf pattern, and the reverse cloverleaf will occur if there is the patient does not know that test is started. And another important thing we have to note is that if the defects in the pattern deviation plot is more than the total deviation plot, then that is something is fishy there. If you see the whole printout, you can see that there is lots of white scotomas, and the GST is also showing that abnormally high sensitivity, and the false positive rates are also very high. So that indicates that the patient is figure happy, and such type of field should not be taken into consideration. So we have to get 2 or 3 good baseline visual fields. If any abnormality is found, that should be confirmed by repeated visual field examination. In ocular hypertensive treatment study also, they have found that abnormalities found in originally abnormal and reliable visual fields were not confirmed on retesting in high as much as 86% of the cases. That shows that most of the time, if you don't repeat it, then the test will be giving us wrong result, and the visual field defects have to be reliable, and they were probably due to learning curve or long-term variability, but the field defects have to be reliable and repeatable so that we can take them into consideration. So criteria for glaucomatous field defects are the abnormal glaucoma hemifield test and 3 or more contiguation points which should be in the abnormal area. An important point is there that it has to be in the typical area for glaucoma like arcuate pattern or paracentral nasal scatter, and the PSD should be abnormal and should have a p-value less than 5%. The glaucoma suspects, who are glaucoma suspects, but glaucoma suspects are those in whom one or more of the above signs are present, but where the signs are insufficient for a diagnosis of glaucoma. That means very early glaucoma, but they should be monitored to see the earliest change so that there will not be any permanent vision loss. But other causes of visual field have to be excluded, and field defects should correlate with the clinical picture. Then only we can tell them as glaucomatous defect. So in glaucoma suspects, we have to rely on GHT and the pattern deviation plot, because GHT is so designed that it is very highly specific and sensitive for glaucomatous field defect, and we can track our progression with the MD and BFI. The ocular hypertension treatment study also tells that both the visual field assessment optic disc must be monitored with equal diligence, because either may show the first evidence of glaucomatous damage, and if any visual field damage occurs, then that has to be correlated with the clinical finding, and any subtle change has to be correlated, and then we can initiate treatment. And there is increased risk of developing glaucoma if there is evidence of nasal step, but partial arcuate defect or increase in the pattern standard deviation. So do not overlook central visual field in early glaucoma, because glaucoma may affect the central field ahead than the peripheral field, contrary to the earlier belief. The glaucomatous damage to the macula occurs very early, and some patient may show defects in the centralmost visual field defect. But if we do only 24-2, these points will be missed because that is not very well represented in the central in the 24-2 parameter. But if we do 10-2, then we can see that it has got 68 points, then up to 1 degree we can see there is any defect. So if you see any single defect in the centralmost 4 points, then add 10-2 to the test. And considering that, the SITA has now developed one program 24-2C, which adds 10 additional test points within the central 10-2 from fixation. And that helps that the patient need not go do both the test 24-2 and 10-2, and glaucoma suspects who are going to be converted to frank glaucoma can be detected earlier, and this may be useful. Like in this case, there is superior disc hemorrhage and corresponding inferior visual decrease in the sensitivity. So this can be missed if we do only 24-2 alone. So software augmented perimetry and and FDT are two other tests which can detect glaucoma earlier and can detect the conversion from of the glaucoma suspect to glaucoma earlier. But some also debate this thing because they may not be earlier than the standard automated perimetry. Then we have to look for atypical features so that they can give us some guidance that the patient may be having some neuro-ophthalmological condition. So any visual field defect which appears suddenly or which is purely central scotoma or which is respecting the vertical midline, or the field defect if that is not due to as glaucomatous pattern or is not correlating with the clinical picture, so raise the suspicion that the patient may be having some neuro-ophthalmological condition and we have to investigate in that line. So we should not overlook the retina also. If there is any PRP scar or any scar due to the chorioretinal abnormalities, then that can produce field defects like glaucoma. So don't give any diagnosis looking at the perimetry, and the vascular occlusion and retinitis pigmentosa also can produce glaucoma-like defect, and dilated fundus examination is very much essential. To conclude, progression of the visual field defect is a hallmark sign of conversion to glaucoma. So generally, glaucoma suspects have converted to early glaucoma once classic visual field appear, even if the IOP is not increased and they are not attributable to any other pathology. This change we have to monitor very carefully so that patient will not land up having any permanent visual loss, and appropriate treatment at that stage should be initiated. Thank you.